Music should be, as life is, inertial, intricate, but never entirely expected, not forgotten. The movements are conceived in order, in relation to one another, but not in a fixed order. Iannis, Toru, and Elliot each have within them a quote. For Iannis, it's from Tetras. From Toru, it's his Dorian Horizon for 17 strings. And for Elliot, it's the section of the third quartet where the cello has a particularly impassioned lyrical line. My language leads into and out of these quotes. The idea, I guess, is that the soloists who introduce each of the flower movements will be affected by whatever it is they have just come out of, and will also, by their demeanor, begin to shape the way the quartet deals with the music that follows. At least that's the idea. This seems to me a really important issue, the difference between the practiced and the discovered. And one of the questions that I've been interested in over recent months and years is how to get reliable structure, form, expressive content, and so on, while also allowing space for some kind of malleability of intention, something that pulls players back into a relationship that touches both on the firm and the unknown. And there's a passage in Tetras that I found particularly relevant in terms of the relationship between the quotes, the personalities and nature of the music of each of the three composers that are represented as kind of models or node points through which the music passes. And I took that, and essentially what I did was to compose my own music into the central nodal point or terrain of, in this case, Iannis's music, and then out again. So the idea was that there would be constant movement between the present of my thought and the historical, memorable past of the manifestations of musical ideas and memories and energies from these figures that were important to me in their historical context. So I've asked Lucas to play the solo that introduces the Ryoanji movement, and as he finishes that, we'll bring in a recording of the Arditti Quartet's premiere performance of the quartet that happened at the Vintner Tage in April. the experience of the sublime is an odyssey. What are the components that might allow one to draw close to the sublime? Certainly duration. There is no flash, as we tend to report when speaking of inspiration. A quick drawing in of the breath as something that was not becomes clear. One is there probably briefly, and it takes time to get there. This time of passage involves the comparison of feelings, levels of comprehension, relationships, perhaps fearfulness, awe, even nobility or grandeur. Then a suffusing surrender. On the way, we fleetingly negotiate between the already grasped and the chimerical potential still too distant to be confident of as an entity, let alone as an expected destination.